Good morning, good morning. So, I have a confession to make, and I'm really sorry, but I forgot about the story this morning. That's a pretty important thing for me to do, consider my name's with it, so I'm really sorry about that. I'm wondering if you all can help me, though. Maybe we can build a story together. So in a story, we have a main character, and I'm going to step down so I can hear you. Does anybody, by chance, have a main character that they can think of? Raise your hand if you have a main character that you might have in mind. Yes? Little Red Riding Hood, okay? Awesome. So we have Little Red Riding Hood. Now, in a story, we have a main character, and we have a problem usually for that character. And we're not going to assume that it's the normal problem that Little Red Riding Hood has. So what might be today's problem that Little Red Riding Hood has? Yes, Gino. She has a hard time finding housing. Yeah, that wolf took care of her house, right? Okay, so we have Little Red Riding Hood. She's having a hard time finding housing. Irene, do you have some thoughts? She's not sure if she's going to be able to pay the taxes she owes, so that's caused the housing problem. Oh my goodness. I hope Little Red Riding Hood has grown up a little bit since we last saw her. Okay, so we have Little Red Riding Hood. She's having trouble with housing, trouble with paying taxes. Is there an antagonist in this? Is there somebody that might be causing her problems? Yes. SpongeBob SquarePants. Awesome. So our antagonist, if you don't know, is SpongeBob SquarePants. Is there someone here that doesn't know who SpongeBob SquarePants is? Okay, SpongeBob SquarePants is a character from Nickelodeon that is a sponge that lives in the ocean in a pineapple under the sea. I think that's enough. He's quite a character. And today, he's the antagonist for Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, so we have Little Red Riding Hood. She's having housing problems and paying her taxes, and we have SpongeBob SquarePants as the person that's causing the problems. Okay, let's see if I can do this. One day, Little Red Riding Hood went off into the forest. She came upon her house that she thought was there, and it was boarded up, saying, "You've been evicted." She looks at the notice a little bit more, and she realizes it was because she didn't pay the taxes. And then she looks even closer, and who signed it? SpongeBob SquarePants. He's become the new assessor or whoever it is that handles those kind of things. I don't know the official title. So she goes and she starts walking through the forest trying to understand what to do. And she comes along to, who does she meet? A wolf. The wolf, right. Maybe the wolf has an idea for her. Maybe he's not the big bad wolf anymore. Maybe he's turned around. Maybe he's the wolf that owns a house that she could live in. Maybe, or maybe he knows somebody. So she talks to that wolf and she says, "You know, it looks like I wasn't able to pay the taxes on my house, and I've been evicted, and SpongeBob SquarePants has made this happen, and I don't know what to do. Do you have any ideas?" And the wolf says to Little Red Riding Hood, "You know, I know this person over in this village who's about to rent their house. Maybe you could go talk to that person." And that person is, who is that person? Who's in the village? Yes. Dogman? Dogman. I don't know who that is, so I can't explain who that is, but we're just going to go with it. So Dogman is in the village and has a house to rent. Well, guess what? Guess who is assessing the taxes for Dogman's house? SpongeBob. So he sees Little Red Riding Hood walk up to this house to get ready to talk to Dogman, and SpongeBob jumps out in the way that he does. I can't even make his noises. It's kind of silly. And he says, Little Red Riding Hood, where do you think you're going? And she goes, I was going to go and talk to Dogman to see if I could rent his house. And SpongeBob says, absolutely not. You still owe taxes on your other house. Well, they're in a village, right? So who lives in a village? The villagers. And the villagers start hearing all of this, right? So they come out and they're going, what's going on here? What's happening? And what do the villagers end up doing? We got to wrap this story up. So what do you think they do? They raise the money to pay the taxes for Little Red Riding Hood. Yay! So they raise the taxes. They pay her taxes. Her house is now open. She's able to live in the house that she had, and she lives happily ever after. And SpongeBob SquarePants goes off to bug somebody else. So, confession, I didn't forget the story. What we just did was a place of greatness. It took all of us to build that story, just like it takes all of us to build our community. And you'll hear more about that this morning. Thank you.